All right, I'm back home in Tennessee. I'm back here at Roadside Rex headquarters. Just got home a little while ago. Gonna sit down with a little bit of whiskey and just wanted to go over a couple things with you on last week's video. For a guy that just started this channel literally last December of 24, I'm on video. This video here will be video 9, I believe. And my Mecum video last week exploded, bigger than I ever thought it would. And I wasn't trying to pull any punches with that video. I wasn't trying to make shit up. I wasn't trying to do anything but just show some cars that I looked at Mecum. As you can see, Mecum's still going on. It's last couple days here. I always bug out early. These last couple days are typically not the cars that you see people calling pre-purchase inspections on. These last couple days are generally reserved for the rich guys trading baseball cards, is what I call it. There's a lot of money floating around. I just watched that Porsche 917 hit $25 million and it did not sell. Think about that for a second. $25 million, and the bid goes on. It's just such a different world of wealthy people when you're on the last few days here. It's crazy. It looks like we've got a 65 Shelby 427 going across. We're at 3.1 million, it says. 3.5 on this TV. That's the kind of stuff that goes across the block on these final days of Mecum. I'm just going to respond to a couple comments that were made on my last video. In the last video, if you watched it, I called a particular car in there a Bondo bucket. And when I originally looked at the car, I didn't put my meter on it. I didn't put any magnets on it. And please don't put magnets on other people's cars. Just don't do that. I've seen guys show up with those stupid little round earth magnets and scratch the hell out of people's paint before. If you've got flexible refrigerator magnets, that's maybe a little bit better. If you really want to be looking at Bondo in these cars, like I say, don't use magnets. I use this guy. It's a body filler detective is what it's called. I want to say this is 40 or 50 bucks. And it'll give you a reading from a 1/16 of an inch up to a 1/4 of an inch plus. And if you're at a 1/4 of an inch plus, just make note of that if it's a car you're buying. A gentleman sent me a comment on the last video I made on a particular car that I had called a Bondo bucket. And he's right, I did not put a magnet on it because I don't put magnets on other people's cars. I did go back the next day, however, and put my Bondo meter on it. And every place that I said there was Bondo in that car in the previous video I put my Bondo meter on it, and there was Bondo in the car. I'm not going to apologize for calling that car a Bondo bucket because it was, and I proved it. As you'll see in the video that I'm going to show you here today, you'll see that it was exactly where I said it was. I could see it. I could see the scratch lines. I could see the poor prep work. I could see the crappy paint job. So that's just what I was trying to show you in Mecum in that last video. I was trying to show the general public that gives two shits about it that these cars are not all concourse grade. A lot of these cars are just not what people think they are. So check out the video that I did on this car that I was being whiny about. The guy told me I was being whiny by calling it a Bondo bucket. That's fine. You can call me whatever you want. I could give two shits less what you say. What you call me, I've been called way worse than whiny. I'm not sure how looking out for people and wanting people to know the truth about these cars is being whiny, but whatever, man. Cheers. We'll have more of an episode next week. Ooh, that's good. So in response to some comments on last week's video, I talked about this car a little bit, claiming that it was a Bondo bucket. And somebody on there had said that I didn't put any magnets on it, so that's not an expert opinion. Let me just say, number one, if you're putting magnets on somebody else's car, please stop doing that. I've seen guys do it before and seen those magnets scratch people's paint. Don't put magnets on there. And if you are not able to walk up to a car and see Bondo and body filler in the paint, that's not my problem, that's your problem. So let me just show you what I use. I don't use magnets, I use this guy, and it'll give me a depth. And see how it has a felt piece that actually touches the car. I'm not scratching somebody's car with magnets. So I'll show you that there's Bondo in this car. Exactly where I said it was. Exactly where I said it was. Exactly where I said there was Bondo. I didn't even do this prior to that. I knew there was Bondo. I could see it when I walked up to the car. As you can see, there's Bondo in that door, just like I said there was. And there's Bondo in that fender, like I said there was. I was not wrong when I said there was Bondo in this car. Now, let me also say, Bondo is not the devil. I don't own anything that doesn't have Bondo in it. When Bondo is used correctly, it's about the only way you can do some body work. It's just a fact of life when you're swapping quarter panels and rockers and stuff. It's not the end of the world, it's not the devil. It's when people don't know how to sand it out and you can see everything underneath. You can see all the sand marks, you can see all the imperfections. That's when I start being alerted by Bondo. That's when I start noticing, start pointing it out, and it starts becoming an issue. I don't think they use this to fill holes. I just don't think they prepped the body work well enough before they painted this car. Pretty much all I'm saying. So it's very, very obvious to me that this car had new quarters hung on it. Not a big deal. Just prep your body work better before you paint. That's all I'm saying. How many times have you watched this now?
Oh, man.
I know, I've been here a few times.
I can recite it.
When we come back, Steve McQueen takes his passion for racing to the next level and begins production on a movie about the famed endurance race, the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
Just a couple final thoughts to wrap this whole Mecum experience up. Number one, I don't think Mecum is the devil. I don't think every car out there is junk. I think there's a lot of deals to be had. I think you need to do your due diligence and sift through the vehicles and find those deals, and then hope that there's not a bunch of other people that are doing the same thing. I also don't believe that we should use Mecum and Barrett-Jackson and all these auctions. I don't think we should use them as the Bible for what the classic car market is actually doing. I think it's a distorted view, personally, just like I think the consignment shops. Just know that when you drop a car off at a consignment shop, and you know which ones I'm talking about, they're going to add 12% to whatever you think you need to have out of it. So it's a distorted view of what the market is in the end, in reality. And while I was in Florida, I talked to a buddy of mine who is a classic car dealer. He buys and sells a lot at Mecum. One thing that he said this year that he noticed at Mecum is everything that he bid on, bid bid for and sold for more than the car was actually worth. So there was no meat left on the bone for him as a dealer. And also, everything that he tried to sell wouldn't even hit reserve. Stuff that I thought would go high didn't. Stuff that I thought would sell for cheaper went through the roof. It turns into the old adage, people are going to pay what they're going to pay for what they want. And we saw it again this year. This is going to be it for the Mecum videos for a while. I'm probably going to hit another couple auctions yet this year. I'll probably try and buzz out to Indy to see that one. I doubt if I'm going to make it out to Monterey or Vegas or any of those, but try and hit a couple more of them. We're going to get back to work on that old Pontiac. I really want to get that thing on the road yet this year. I got some cool ideas in store for that. I'll give you a little hint, TKX. I think that's going to be happening. I'm actually going to order some parts for my 69 Camaro. If you watched the previous video, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to get some of that stuff ordered up. And talked to my buddy about the Suburban while I was down in Florida, and we are going to be tackling the bodywork and paint on that truck. Stay tuned. We got plenty more stuff coming down the pipe, and I'll see you next week.